This is the most ignorant thing I have ever seen in my life.
I won't lie you guys. We are the one that took him to the herbalists that performed the ritual. The herbalists that performed the ritual did everything possible to make sure he comes to life.
Did he?
Yes. The reason why we brought him to the hospital just to give him oxygen.
Just
That is
to.
our last choice.
Yeah, your last
Yes.
choice.
Yes.
Yeah.
You just want to give him oxygen.
God have mercy.
Just want to give him oxygen.
God have
because
mercy.
He's already confirmed dead. Right? Because we came late. Nollywood is just a
Oh, you came late.
place.
Let's get the timeline of this story right, because ignorance, they say, is truly a disease. So, Junior Pope, along with other Nollywood actors, are involved in a boat accident in Asaba. According to what we heard, the boats that Junior Pope and some of the other crew members were in collided with another boat, causing their boat to capsize, and everyone started struggling for life. Now, let's put in mind something. This video of Junior Pope in the boat on his Instagram was not the moment the accident happened. This was him going to set, and the accident, according to what we are hearing, was them coming back from set. Some sources claim that it was them shooting a scene. Regardless, the boat accident happened, and they were not in their life jackets, which made it very nearly impossible for many of them to survive this. But I want you to put something in mind. According to what people are saying, people who know Junior Pope, he's a good swimmer, a very good one. And I guess that would confirm his confidence to maybe want to ride in this boat without a life jacket, because he probably believed in his swimming capabilities. Unfortunately, however, he could not swim out of the situation. And instantly, after a few minutes of the incident, rescuers in the community went with their boat to find survivors and hopefully recover some bodies that they could find. Junior Pope's body, along with one other person's body, were the first two recovered. Now, as at the time of making this video, some other crew members are yet to be found, including a sound guy and I'm guessing the makeup artist. But let's go back to Junior Pope for a moment, because what this young man, what this eyewitness is saying is revealing of a much more ignorant situation that could have literally prevented the finality of this young man's life. So, according to his story, according to his confession, when Junior Pope's body was brought ashore along with the other person, they took him to the mortuary. It was while he was in the mortuary that the mortician told them that Junior Pope still had life in him, that he was not dead. And let me tell you, a mortician would know. They work on dead bodies. So they know a dead body when they see one. And when they saw Junior Pope's body, it wasn't a dead body. He had life. And it's believable that he would most likely still be fighting for his life somewhere there, because he may not have drowned at the time some of the other people who may have died had drowned, because he could swim. And for those who saw the video of his body when it was brought ashore, you could notice that on his shirt, it seemed like his shirt was torn into pieces, almost like he was fighting with someone in the water. This was not the outfit he wore. He wore a black outfit, and you can see that the outfit was ripped apart, which in my opinion may have been as a result of other people in the boat holding on to him for survival, and maybe him trying to swim his way to help some of these people, because like we've already established by people who know him, he is pretty much a good swimmer. So I can easily deduct that there was truly a possibility Junior Pope was not completely drowned at the time he was brought out. Maybe he was still in the process, because I think that would be the time where CPR would have come in. If somebody had performed CPR on him, he would have most likely resuscitated. Now, I don't know if that happened. This is why I never want to have a medical emergency in the presence of ignorant people, because I might as well just die. It's not clear if CPR was ever done on Junior Pope and the other people that was first brought out of the river. But what we are hearing from him, they took him to the morgue. The mortuary attendant said he had life in him and suggested they took him to the hospital to quickly see what they can do. But hearing what this man says, it seemed like the people in charge of the rescue, the people, the first responders there, the community boys, rather than taking Junior Pope to the hospital, they took him to a herbalist. They took him to a native doctor. and that the native doctor was supposed to try everything he could.
It's the herbalist that performed the ritual did everything possible to make sure he comes to life. He gets.
Ah, it was after the native doctor could not do his magic. It was after the oracle. It was after Amadioha could not fix it. And they decided to take him to the hospital. And according to him,
The reason why we brought him to the hospital just to give him oxygen.
oh wow. Oh, okay. That was all you took him to the hospital for. You seem to know so much about what he needs. Have you drowned before? Have you saved a drowning person before? Why would you just say we took him to the hospital to just give him oxygen? You guys took him, even when the mortuary attendant told you people to take him to the hospital, you guys took him to the native doctor because the native doctor somehow, some way has a degree in drowning victims, because I don't get this ignorance at all. And now you finally take him to the hospital to give him common oxygen. We want to give him oxygen. So let's give him oxygen. He does not need anything else. You're such a medical practitioner that you know that only oxygen is what he needs now. Oh my God. I am so pissed at this story too. Because I know that many ignorant things like this have happened. People have lost their life because of ignorance like this. But to hear it, no wonder in the beginning of his video he's saying, I won't lie you, I won't lie you, because you know you've messed up. You know you guys messed up. You know you guys did the most stupidest thing ever. This is ridiculous. May the good Lord just have mercy on all of you. Wow. I won't lie you, I won't lie. We're the part of the people that took him to the native doctor. What is going on in Asaba? I don't understand. What is happening in Asaba? What is this? Funny enough, many of these people are educated. They just choose to be ignorant. Nigeria might be the only country in the world where people choose to be ignorant because they have the education, they have the exposure. Some people have the knowledge of this thing, but then they're like, you know what? Let's take him to the hospital. Let's take him to the native doctor's shrine. You know, let's take him to the native doctor. That is a smarter choice. Because you had the option of taking him to the hospital, but you chose to take him to Anyamiri. That was your first option before the hospital. If the native doctor was the one that drowned, would you have taken him to the native doctor? It's very unfortunate that these young filmmakers trying to make ends meet had to meet their end like this. I know a lot of people have blamed it on them for choosing to go into the boat without life jackets. And rightfully so, yes, they have themselves to blame on that part. However, put in mind that this is a production and it is the production's responsibility to be in charge of the logistics of their cast and crew. And this was the provision given to these talents to move around these water shores and this highland that they've gone to shoot their movie. And according to what I heard, in this ferry terminal, there happened to be another ferry terminal that could journey them this route that provides life jackets in their speedboats. I read somewhere that for you to get a life jacket, the people who run these boats would have to meet the high standard people to get life jacket, which would cost a little more money. So they have life jackets in Asaba. There is life jackets in Asaba. It exists, surprisingly. Yay, wow. So there is life jacket in Asaba. Yes, there is. But the production chose the cheaper transportation system, the ones that don't have life jackets. This is the cheaper one. This is it. That was what production provided for their cast and crew. And like I said, you can blame them all you want, but they made do with what they had. And I'm sure if they were told from their house that, hey, the boat you guys are going to take to come to set and go back, or maybe shoot a scene in the water, would not have life jackets, I can bet you that many of them would have turned it down. But this is something you get to find out when you get there. It's like, by right, you should have life jackets. But you get there and you're like, oh, okay, wait, okay, this is what we're using. Oh, this is the car we're using. Oh, and production call time is what, by 6? So we're already running late and I've already signed into this project. And this is what production provided for us. Their hands are tied for the most part. And they are assured that, don't worry, it's safe. Don't worry, we are professionals. Don't worry, it's going to be good. That becomes their life jacket. And so once one person agreed to going, another person would have to agree to going. You don't want to be the crew member in production that start to act all high demand, that start to request for life jackets, that start to be the one to stall production because you can't enter the boat without life jackets. Put that in mind. These people's hands are tied. Many of them are young. I know an old man when I see one, and this looks like a kid to me. This looks like a child. So tell me how this boy would, in the presence of people who are more experienced than him, stand his ground and say, I'm not going to go in and do sound. That is very important in filmmaking, unless you guys provide the life jacket. Who knows him? They will tell him, who are you? Even Genevieve would do it. Who are you? That is something you probably would hear in set. And so his hands are tied. And everyone, makeup artist has gone. Cameraman has gone. Line producer has gone. Even the director is in the boat. So who are you again? This is what will happen. And they are now pressured to take that journey. And you tell me why we shouldn't blame it on the producer, why we shouldn't blame it on production. Who else is to blame? You can blame the company for not running it with life jackets, but that is the government for allowing them run their business like this. However, the production company had the option of giving them a ferry transport system that provides life jackets. They had the option. Again, there is life jackets in Asaba, but this was what they provided for their cast and crew. And I saw the script of the movie, and yeah, it looked like it was going to be another cheesy YouTube movie, because the producer is a YouTuber who has a YouTube account. And she is not a Ruth Kadiri. She is not an Omoni Oboli. She is not an Uche Umbani. She's one of those upcoming YouTube filmmakers, and I think she's already starting a production company because it's not that big. And you can tell that there's a chance that whatever she was probably going to shoot in that island would have been stale, would have been cheesy, would have been another YouTube bore, because I don't even know if it was worth it. What in God's name were you going to film in that island that you could not film somewhere in your backyard? Oh my God. Because we know it's only going to be one angle camera with close-up shots throughout and them talking. It's disappointing anyway, because I just feel like this could have been avoided, especially having to hear that they took Junior Pope from the mortuary to the native doctor. You bring this man, presumably dead, from the river. You take him to the morgue to get embalmed. The mortician tells you there is life in him. Take him to the hospital. But with your puff, you thought, you know what? The hospital should wait. It's just oxygen we're going to give him there, right? Since I'm so smart, since we as a community, we are very smart. Let's wait on that oxygen. Let's take him to the native doctor. Your native doctor is best. You know, the native doctor has a degree in people drowning. The native doctor has an experience in resurrecting people who have drowned. So yeah, let's all go and take Junior Pope from the morgue to the native doctor. I'm sure this is what they were probably thinking. And then when the native doctor could not do it, could not give oxygen, they were like, okay, I guess we should go to our second option, the hospital. Ooh, who would have guessed that we'll finally need a hospital by the end of this? We thought the native doctor was going to do all the magic. Yes, you thought wrong. And then you're coming out here. We came late. Why won't you come late? Weren't you guys carrying him on your shoulders? From what I saw, he was carried like I don't know, like a protest. They could not put him in a taxi. You could not put him in a vehicle. You guys trekked and carried him, and probably was shaking him. All the water that he has probably drank just kept going into his brain, and you guys took him to the hospital to get him oxygen, because you know that was his problem before. Oxygen was what he did. It was what he lacked. You guys are so educated that you know what he needed. Ignorant people will just continue being the death of a lot of people in Nigeria. I have heard stories of men of God, Christians, whose loved ones would have a health attack in the middle of the night, asthma attack, fever attack, and these people will take their child to the church rather than to the hospital. It happens even both with some believers, and it's going to continue to happen. Your child is having a sickness that you've not heard of, and someone whispers to you that it's a spiritual attack. Take him to the hospital first. No, let's take him to the altar. Let's take him to the church. Let's put him before an image of Jesus and see if what we see in Nollywood movies would happen right here. It's unfortunate. It did not have to happen. There were multiple chances for this man to be alive. From the life jacket to him being brought out of the river, to him being taken to the morgue. But the people who were in charge were just too ignorant. And this, my dear, is what ignorance does to us. If you've never believed that ignorance was a disease, I'm hoping this video would convince you otherwise.